Okay, let's talk about the deeper benefits and drawbacks of career and technical education. CTE helps students get real jobs, especially those who learn differently, such as hands-on learners, or seek some structure, purpose, and stability. Again, a surprisingly amount of people have found meaning in the military, and tech school is that avenue to do so. Perhaps CTE can be people who are just different or who don't want a four-year school or for a variety of reasons want to be able to get a certificate, see if that job works, and then see how they can move on from there. Um, Vocational programs in the past were seen as second-rate. They had less funding, less technical skill development. CTE programs today have better funding and training. Abroad in countries like Switzerland, Germany, and perhaps Norway, the research I've read have shown they actually have much better funding than many other even four-year universities. So students who are starting with 16, the majority of them actually opt for something like CTE education, being able to do mechanics, being able to be all sorts of variety of technical fields actually is more rewarding to them. And it's not just about getting a job. It's about the agency to be able to fix a car, to be able to cut somebody's hair, to be able to do something useful and relevant to the world economy. And of course, economic inclusion, to be able to feel like you're part of the workforce, to be able to feel like that. It's easy, even in white-collar jobs, to feel like you're sort of going through the motions, whereas people generally want to have skills. They want to be the best version of themselves. That's what school gets you. If done well, students will finish a CTE program debt-free. We know high school, of course, is paid for in public high school, and many community colleges, I think in 31 states, have fee waivers for the first 2 years of classes. So many might be able to have debt-free or low debt. Certainly if they're apprenticeships, they may actually gain some money in some circumstances while they do so. So we know that while the average student debt, I think it's 40 or 50,000 for a bachelor's degree, if students can pay for this debt-free, that's a definitely great way to start life, to be able to start your adult life with a job, no debt, some skills they can do, and just a way that you can decide where to go from there. And again, it's a chance for anybody, 16 years old and up, to get work, provide for themselves, and just in general be able to be the whole fully functional adult that we all seek to be. Okay, now, who should not try CTE? As with any um, social program, there's always people that it would not work for. And I say at least not right now. Maybe in the future there would be, but not right now. First, someone who lacks sufficient language and math skills. At least in the U.S., that'd be English and math. I taught GED for several years, and I think there needs to have requisite English and math skills to be able to take advantage of instruction. If people cannot hear instruction in English and perhaps Spanish, then it would be hard to get any work. Okay. So use those same resources with a counselor to get remedial education, to be able to take advantage of vocational skills. Two, people who do not want to work in practical skills. I know my mentor said I'd be a better academic researcher, think tank worker, etc. that deals with theory, whereas there aren't too many CTE fields that deal with theory. Usually CTE fields are about doing something. Let's use the model of paralegal, which is CTE, lawyer, which has a variety of types of lawyers, and then legal policy advisor, or even legislature in the state capitals or the nation's capitals. That would be a different focus than CTE. Those who want elite classical and liberal arts education. Again, classical refers you to Greek, Latin, and philosophy. There really isn't much of that in CTE. Anything there, I can barely think of anything that would be Greek or Latin. Liberal arts, again, philosophy, English literature, history. There really is no such CTE thing there. People can get those on the side in tandem at night, but there's no CTE certificate program for history or for sociology. Okay, somebody who knows they want to be a medical doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a teacher, and won't get distracted from their role. So we know many people go on to become a doctor. They want to become a doctor, but then they become a consultant or a banker because they're smart, they're hardworking, but it's just the doctor path wasn't the right road. But if you know you want to be a doctor and you must focus on that, CT probably as a nursing assistant, etc., just probably would not be a good path. Again, lawyer. If you know you want to be a lawyer, you should stick to that path. Being a paralegal is only seen as tangential. people can be a paralegal to a lawyer, but it's often seen as sort of a separate path. Engineering, if you've seen the coursework, that's years and years of physics and math just to start. And then only after about many courses do you do your upper division. That's very different than becoming a process tech or well worker. Again, teaching usually requires a bachelor's plus about a year of teacher training and certification. That's different than being a teacher's assistant. Long-term progression and career flexibility. I will say the CTE is only for getting a job in the short term. Long term, there aren't that many areas to get promotion. If you definitely want promotion, that's why you keep working with a counselor. You get more CT certificates, or you get them in different fields, or you go for a bachelor's degree. Because if you get work experience, a lot of that you can do will actually help you with seeing the relevance of a 4-year bachelor's degree, especially in a technical field. So if you know you really want that, you're going to have to do more. CTE never promised it will be a standalone degree, whereas let's say engineering may very well be. Okay, so the conclusion, what is the point of CTE? It's for anybody to upskill, especially high school students, community college students, and it does so rapidly, in only sometimes a year. Reskilling, so people who have done one job and quickly within, let's say, 2,000 hours of instruction want to reskill into a new job. Immediate employability, which is very important for feedback systems to stay encouraged. Making an above average wage, good. We know that many of these jobs pay an above average wage, the entry level. And then short-term return on investment. Medium term and long term, I cannot begin to predict. But we know CTE has repeatedly proven itself well short term. Now resources. Before I go, I encourage anybody to see these resources. Georgetown resources are excellent on the Center for Workforce. It speaks about how they're trying to see the ROI, and they call them quote unquote good jobs, middle income, middle skills for middle income, for middle class, being able to do that. Show that sometimes it can outpace liberal arts degrees. The American CTE organization online has, again, they do a lot of research doing that. The U.S. Department of Labor meticulously has compiled it on tens of thousands of jobs around in every zip code. So being able to explain what CTE is, where it's fast growing, all very valuable resources. And because I'm from California, the California state specifically, they had 15 clusters rather than 16, being able to show it from that perspective, because CTE is very localized.